This is Game Changers in the C-Suite, where leaders open up about the key moments that changed their approach to talent. Their personal stories illustrate how their decisions reshape their organizations and continue to build stronger communities.
My name is Tom Jackiewicz. I've been president of the health system at the University of Chicago for 4 years. You know, part of the reason I came here was I thought the University of Chicago, being situated in Hyde Park, we could really make a difference on the South Side. We're 20 minutes from downtown Chicago, and yet the South Side is isolated. And I feel like University of Chicago, we should take a leadership role in doing this. I'd been at the University of Chicago for about a year and a half, and I was speaking at a conference in Las Vegas. I had an Uber driver taking me to the hotel, and we started a conversation. And she asked me where I was from, and I said, "Oh, I'm from Chicago." And she said, "Oh, where do you work?" I said, "I work at the University of Chicago Medical Center." She goes, "Oh, I lived like 6 blocks from there." I go, "Why don't you live there? Like, why did you move?" And she said, "Because it's only the innocent people that get shot, and I was afraid to go to the grocery store." And she goes, I moved to Las Vegas, and now I can walk outside at night. And it really struck me. And I thought, we've got to do whatever we can in terms of investment to make a difference, because if people don't feel safe, it's hard to get everything else right. Leading the University of Chicago health system, I'm going to do whatever I can to make a difference in the South Side. There's been a lot of violence on the South Side. We treat around 1,500 gunshots a year, so we have a very strong violence prevention program. Gun violence is rooted in poverty, right? If we don't change people's economic situation, I firmly believe we're really not going to be able to change the gun violence issue. Because when you're trying to break a cycle of poverty, it's really about jobs. Jobs and opportunity. I see the poverty on the South Side, and I feel like it takes 4 things. It's going to take safety, health, investment, and training. We've changed our recruiting process really across our whole system. But what we really want to do is realize this is a big pool of potential workers here on the South Side, and we really want to invest in our neighborhood and give people the opportunity to really make a difference in healthcare. 27% of our new employees come from the South Side of Chicago, so 65% of our employees are people of color. Once here in the University of Chicago, there's a tremendous amount of promotional opportunities. We've offered training programs. You can start as an EVS worker and get free training in the University of Chicago, where then you can become a nurse or a radiology tech or a respiratory tech and have a very good income. And I think we're stepping into this void on the South Side where lack of opportunity, I think, has really held the community back. I think as a business leader, thinking about how you can create economic opportunities in the community is absolutely critical. You look at the community that you're trying to serve, and you tailor a solution that fits into that community to meet those needs. It wasn't like, oh, here's what we're going to do for the community. We talked to the community leaders, and we said, okay, and we analyzed the need and then try to fill that need. And I think for any good business plan, that's how you have to figure out what the need is that people, rather than what you can bring. The most important asset for any company is people. Getting good people, investing in them, having them grow in your organization is the key to your success. So by making investments in people, you're making investments in your company. So the economics are clear. Make that investment and it'll pay off. Our participation in our community, trying to make the right investments, is going to be tremendous for the Southside community, but it's also going to be tremendous for the University of Chicago. I think this is a true win-win situation. And you asked me about where business executives are. This is it. It's a win-win. We have 600,000 people. 51% of the people live in poverty. That's 300,000 people who I feel like any country, any city is only as good as the people in that city. And if you've got 300,000 people who are being let's say, undervalued or not really realizing their full potential, that's a tremendous loss of opportunity. Just think of all the inventions that aren't going to happen, all the technology that's not going to be discovered. And this is our greatest resource, and we need to do everything we can to make sure everybody has the best opportunity. But if people are left behind, we're all diminished in some way or another. And I think it's really important for business to make those contributions with a much more of a long-term perspective. We're not going to change the South Side in 2 years. But the investments we make today, 10, 15, 20 years from now, I think are going to reap tremendous rewards. This is a time to be bold. I realize we're politically polarized at the moment, but when you stand back and look at all the opportunities in this country, we have a chance to really change things for the better for everyone. I think business leaders have to step into those challenges. I think there's always been a sense of being reticent that, okay, well, that's a political problem, I'm not going to get involved. Or, that's somebody else's business problem. Maybe it's a city government problem. No, I think it's a time, we can't fix everything, but I think we can take a leadership role, and we should lead by example.
Ready to be a game changer? Visit these websites for resources and inspiration.